And we're going to cover basically the rules-based configuration, which is a similar model to advanced user security mapping. We'll show you the periodic review example. We'll do a metadata. I'll show you what a metadata update example looks like, and we'll show you what the job run history looks like. Subscription Notifier, which is also accessible from the Fishbowl administration tools bar. And there are two options that you will see in there. One is the view job history, which we'll get to in a moment, and the view custom component subscriptions is where you manage your rules. So this is the new UI that we have for Subnoti. The ones that are bolded, or excuse me, not bolded or kind of grayed out are the ones that are not enabled, so they are turned off. You can turn them on or turn them off with the enable button. But there are several in here that will run under different schedules. Some on demand that I've set up for the demo, and some run every 5 minutes or some run every week. So let's talk about one of the ones that pops up quite a bit from our customers. And we'll show you a little bit about the subscription notification interface with respect to the name, the subscription type, and the logging level, which gives a little more detail. You can define who you want the job to run as and who you want to be emailed in terms of notification as far as the process, and whether or not there's a schedule that you want to take place with this. This particular example, I am ignoring the schedule, and when I do that, the hint tells us that if you ignore the schedule, that this notification query will run approximately every 5 minutes in your environment. So a non-scheduled task will run every 5 minutes. You apply a query to the subscription query area here, and you can define whatever IDOC script you want in that query to generate back the results that you need to evaluate that process. This scenario will resubmit one of the side effects. It's called resubmit for conversion, and the attempts it will take is 5. Now I can do a preview on the email. I don't have any in my environment stuck at the moment, and I can save that subscription and return back to my UI. And I can repeat that same kind of configuration for items that might be stuck in done. So it's just a different type of query following a similar model of having the schedule turned off. One of the ones that pops up quite a bit as well is the contract or document kind of expiration or renewal. It uses the periodic review model. So of the subscription type I showed earlier with Gen, WW, and Done, I use normal, but on periodic review, that enables a different set of fields that make access to the subscription definition available to you. The first one is all the date fields that might be in your content server environment that you wish to evaluate a periodic review on. You can evaluate it on ones that are out of the box. In this case, we have a review date defined, which we are evaluating the process on. We are running this scheduled job on a daily basis on every Wednesday at 12 a.m. So you can run it on non-peak times so you don't get any degradation in your environment if you are concerned about that. And you can define users to notify or aliases to notify under the periodic review definition you define. So you can make it, for example, there are several here. It's a 120-day, a 90-day, and a 30-day, a 90-day, a 30-day, a 7-day, and a 1-day, and so forth. So you can define whatever that model needs to be in terms of that notification. You can define the email template you wish to use as part of that process. And so whatever creative ones you have customized in your environment with the right text and or labeling or imagery you might want in that email. And you can also put text in your message to be appended to that as it goes out. My example here is doing a simple doc type like on anything with doc type as in the procedure of the title, or the type, excuse me. And I can add to that by simply picking more fields from the content server and defining my conditions and putting my text to add to the query. And I can build a query that would go after content in my environment based on that. I can preview the email that would come out. And so if there are any documents in your environment that match that query, it will return a sample list of the first 5 in that list that happen to meet that expiration configuration I have for the periodic review earlier. In there, you'll get the message text that I pulled from here, title of the document, when it expires, links inside the document to also perform the access to the documents quickly for users who might be managing their email box as a security mechanism for items that are expired. There is also a way to define documents that you wish to either meet under periodic review or normal review that you wish to attach. So I can build a query and attach the content as opposed to putting a link in the content, and I can decide whether I want the web viewable document, the PDF converted item, or the native file in the attachment of the email that gets sent out. In that case, if I do the preview, I will see nothing that shows up in here as a link, but when the email gets sent to me, the document will be as an attachment to the email. The last one I'll show you is the metadata update side effect. Under the same scenarios of the schedule and the email template definition and the email message, I can look for and perform metadata updates on one or more metadata values that are in the content server based on those that meet the criteria. In this case, a simple doc title equals sample PPT. And I can do a preview on that, and it will find a document that it will update the values for these two fields to core process as a manufacturer, which is very handy for organizations who don't necessarily do lookups and database tables for managing their values for attaching content. They might hard code them in the admin applets in the configuration manager, but they change every so often, or content needs to move around, or something reorganizes in your environment. You have thousands of documents that need to be touched some way, somehow. You can either go through them by hand, you can archive them out, archive them back in, or you can run a small job with Subscription Notifier to make those updates. For the user who has restricted access to the environment and you want to grant certain roles access to perform Subscription Notifier, so I as a user can come in and create my own subscription notifications, and the one I created for the one with attachments is the same one that I can see as if I'm a power user or an administrator that I've defined here. So that same definition I see as the administrator, but the casual user who has been granted access can only see the ones that they own. What the job history looks like. After jobs run, we do collect the run history by the type of subscription that was performed, whether it was on demand, whether it was periodic review, whether it was ran every 5 minutes, whether it ran every hour. So this user interface allows you to create some filters for the ones that you want to see, either all of them or the ones that you ran that were run that were gen dub, for example, the date and time they ran, the duration, whether or not it's a success or failure, if it was scheduled, and then if any notifications that were sent. And you can page through those results and continue to find the asset you're looking for that you might have had a situation occur in, or you're trying to troubleshoot a problem in with respect to subnodes.